Hello and welcome back to Kingdoms and Castles. Here we are. I made a video yesterday, just literally that was the first time I'd launched it up. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, and that really showed in the fact that my town was a piece of shit. So I just thought I'd make another one today. Just because I was playing it this morning and I thought I'll make another one just to show what you can actually do and get up to when you kind of know what you're doing, which I wouldn't be so bold as to say I know what I'm doing, but I've just bumbled through this and I've managed to get a bit of a city on my hands there, bustling city, Cathalonia, that's what I called it. Not Vizardville, unfortunately. I thought that went so badly yesterday it must have an ill omen or something. So yeah, basically what I've been doing is I'm quite happy with the kind of setup I've got. 702 people, 82 idle unemployment at a record high. It's actually quite low from what I've been having, but so yeah, I was quite happy with what I've got. Don't know why these people aren't moving. They're just standing around having a good time. Let's turn the time up, see if they start moving. No, they're quite happy just standing there apparently. So yeah, as you can see, I've got my little farming districts here, one down here as well, mostly on the coast down here because that's where it's most fertile. But there was a big green patch here, so I thought I'd make the most of that, get the old farms going and the mills. A couple of bakers around. I have no idea where, but somewhere. So they're somewhere in there. Nice little floating stockpile. I was going to develop this into kind of like a floating marketplace, kind of like Singapore in Pirates of the Caribbean, that sort of thing, where there's like floating town square, little marketplace, stuff like that. But I haven't really got around to that because, like I said, I was getting distracted with just I was trying to get this wall all the way around so it kind of looked like a real medieval city village thing. And as you can see, it's only on the first level so far, and I was focusing on building these up. I was just trying to see as high as see how high they could go, and they do go higher than this. But I just thought it looked a bit stupid, so I took it back down because it got so high that you could barely see in and things like that. So I've got some archer towers on the top of the gatehouses here. Not gonna lie, mostly for decoration, not really out of any practicality reasons. Barracks out here just because there's no room in here, so I just thought fuck it. Couple of foresters, but yeah, here's my stockpiles. Like, they've got very what's the word? These towers are very precarious. Towers of armaments to arm my troops with. So yeah, if I just carry on building this. As you can see, I have had to actually build it in the water on these pier blocks because originally I wasn't planning to put a wall around here. This was going to be kind of like a outside of the walls little settlement, like where the lower classes are or whatever. But as it happens, I just ended up building a load of manor houses anyway because per block they're much more. They hold 25 people and they cover 4 blocks, whereas a hovel or a cottage, the ratio is a lot lower, and so I just went for it anyway because I could afford it. But yeah, the reason I'm basically doing this is because these pier blocks are quite expensive. They're 50 stone each, and as you see, I've actually got quite a lot, but that's because I've just been sitting here talking for a while and I've got quite a few quarries going on, and I basically did it because I thought that would be a nice goal to work towards. Be quite expensive, take me quite some time to build it all the way around, and it has taken me a while. I've been playing it all morning. There you go, I haven't got enough to fill in that gap because I misclicked, that's annoying. There we go. So I'll wait for those to be built, then I'll build some walls on top. Across here as well, I need to replace this block and this block with some piers as well, because you can't build a stone gate over there unfortunately, but you can on there, so I need to replace those. What else is there to show? I've discovered that you can actually remove these black blocks. You have to use one of these rock removal, and they cost 10 tools each, and tools are made by your blacksmiths. Your blacksmiths make your tools and your armaments. So they're actually quite expensive. Again, the only reason I've got so many of those is because I've been sitting here yapping. But yeah, let's get rid of some of them. And I think I've only just noticed it actually, but I think since I became a city, which was a while, it was a little while ago, the roads, I think, I could be wrong here, but I think they've been upgrading. They've now got these little fences alongside, just for that like little aesthetic touches, which I really like about this game. Actually, I do really like the artwork. Just these trees, just like they just look, they're so easy on the eye. I really like it. But yeah, here we go. This is Kingdoms and Castles. Really. I'm not sure if it's 100% finished yet, if they're still updating it. So it does say version 105 RS. Don't know what that means up there. So maybe that means that, like, they are going to keep updating and keep adding new features. And I really hope they do, because I could see myself sinking a lot of hours into this, just quite happily sitting here, placing some roads down, new little road networks. Oh, fuck off. Let's chop that down. What's that? Oh, well, I put the well there, preempted that. But yeah, so I'm really impressed, as I'm sure you've gathered. I'm producing way too much food for the amount of food my granaries can contain. So literally every time I click on here, it'll tell me the same thing. It took too long to store our harvest, so it was ruined by the winter, because there was no room in the granaries, no room in the inn. So all these people, you'll probably see when they next harvest, which will be soon, are just running backwards and forwards trying to shove their food in somewhere. You can see people taking their food home from the granaries here. If we just watch here, these are some farms on here, and they all take their food to the granaries. This one's full, so they're not fitting in there. There's one over here as well. The door's actually there. Bad placement by me. But there we go. Look, swarming in there. And then they can't go anywhere, so they carry on, go and look for another granary. That'll be full too. Look. But yeah, so do you know what, actually, going on about that, and I'm not doing anything to rectify it, so let's just chop down some of those trees. And meanwhile, I will continue building this road out here. Oh, sod off, Mary. Go away. Getting in the way, she was. I'm quite guilty of just like spamming down roads in any willy-nilly pattern, because I quite like the it gives that organic, or not organic, but you know, like the natural sort of, the city's grown out naturally, rather than like if you see like in America where all their city streets are all in blocks and straight lines and corners, where they've obviously put it all out and then built on top of it, whereas a lot of European cities, obviously the medieval era is mostly European or Asian, they're all thin, winding little alley streets and all sorts, because they've grown outwards naturally with the years. So I kind of like that aesthetic, so I'm trying to reproduce that in some of my roads. And yeah, sometimes it is annoying, like there's not enough room for the manor, but I think that's a small price to pay for it looking a bit better, in my opinion. What else should we shove out here? I'm yet to get a statue, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out into the middle here. Let's get a bridge. I did kind of want a long straight bridge there, but I've just kind of fucked up the placement of that bit, so it's not going to be one of them. It's just going to come out from... Oh, fuck off. It's just going to come out from here. Like this. All my fellas are swimming out there to build these piers. And I'm going to stick a big statue of this guy. Don't know who he is, Lord Levi. Just as a little commemoration to the city. And then yeah, I think that'll about finish this little update, should we say, of oh shit, I accidentally built that one high, of my progress in Kingdoms and Castles. walls are very nearly done. Piers, likewise. Blocked by existing structure, is it? Is there already one there? Yeah, I've already put one there. It's just me being an idiot. But yeah, there we have it. Come on, fellas. Hurry up. I can actually get rid of this block down here. There we go, that's that one gone. And that opens up that space for anything really. What should we put there? Let's put baker there. Church, I've already got church right there, so I'm not going to put church there. Town square. So right, let's put a market there next to the town square. I think that would fit in well, wouldn't it? Give these idle workers something to do, because all your idle workers are the ones that they do your building, or say you build a quarry, and 5 people are building the quarry. 4 of those people will then go on to work in the quarry. Like here, I can show you this quarry here. 4 out of 4 workers, and the longer they work in that quarry, the more experience they get doing it. Like this one is a stone cutting grandmaster, which means be slightly quicker. You know, it'll cut the stone slightly quicker than if it was just a journeyman. But this guy, he's been around. He's only 28, and he's grandmaster, wood cutting party, and stone cutting. He's been around. He's been around the block. So he's obviously been a forester in one of these foresting huts out here. One actually burnt down out here, didn't it? I didn't replace that. Let's put that here. Oh, there's one here, one here, one here. Got quite a few of them just knocking around. A couple down here. Then you've got stone cutting, obviously quarry. And I've only got the one iron mine because I've never really had a shortage of it. It's over here. So that's the mining. Okay, it's time for the big reveal. Which way do I want it facing? That's the thing. I think sideways would be good. Or facing outwards. Back towards the castle. Back towards the castle is good. It's actually pretty much directly in line with the castle. That worked out alright. How long is that going to take to build? Quite a while, because another aspect of it is you have storehouses that obviously store all your materials, and so you can see there's your wood, there's your tools, there's your armaments, there's your stone, and every time you build something, all the people that work on it, so this one has 10 workers on that. It's the most actually I've ever seen, but they all have to run back and forth to the nearest storehouse that has the material they need. So like this one, waiting for 130 stone. That means that all these people with purple on, they're those 10 builders. And you see they're all running to this storehouse because it's the closest one. Because I think I've only got 2 or 3. They're running backwards and forwards with stone, and they can only carry 3 or 4 at a time. I think. Let's see if we can see. Zoom in. They're all going back, so they're all empty-handed. Oh, cutting across the fields, that's a bit rude. I can only carry 2 at a time. I guess stone is quite heavy. But yeah, so that'll take a little time. Let's see where my other storehouses are. One of them is obviously floating here, but that's pretty much all wood, because it's just the foresting huts around here. That's why I put it there, because from here, for them to take all their wood, that's a long trek over to that storehouse. I think there's one in the city, yeah, as well. And there we go, that one's mostly tools and armaments from the blacksmiths. I think there's a blacksmith here actually. Or maybe that's a mason. Yeah, it's a mason. Come on then, let's see Lord Luther, whatever his name is, Lord Levi. Come on. Chop chop. But yeah, so I hope you've actually enjoyed this little watching me be an idiot. I really would recommend this game. It's only $6.99 on Steam. It's a crowdfunded. I'm not really sure of the ins and outs of it. Something called Fig. I think it's crowdfunding or Kickstarter, something like that. Fig. It's their first. I think it was their first one they've actually managed to like get out there onto the like the Steam marketplace or whatever. I'm not sure. Could be making that up. That's on fire. Put that out. But yeah, I'd really recommend it. It's $6.99. Like I said, especially if they're thinking of just adding more and more stuff, because this could really turn into a really good game. It's so basic, but it just works so well, and it looks amazing as well. Yeah, really can't recommend it enough. Oh no, everyone's dying. City's full. Let's build some more buildings quick whilst we're waiting for that. What can we put in that one block space? A well? No, I've got a well. Nothing really, just leave it, I guess. You can see here you can get a moat, but I never really bothered because I've got sea pretty much all around, so it just takes up space. And like I said originally, I didn't really plan it out very well. This was so congested. I had my little farm down here, and that's pretty much redundant now. Like that produces maybe 100 food, and I don't know how much food I actually produce. Like I said, way too much for me to even be able to store. Here we go. Is it almost done? It's done. There we go. That was anticlimactic, but it's done. He's got a little deer there, or stag, or doe, or whatever it is. Looks like he's got a mask on, to be honest. But here we go. I don't know who that is, if he's the developer or something, but whatever. So there we go. That's Kingdoms and Castles. Hope you've enjoyed. I certainly have. Thanks for watching.